Well. Well. Welcome to the guy. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. What's up, motherfuckers? How you doing? Good to see you. I'm going to eat this Jolly Rancher on camera before we start the thing, so I apologize. People like, make noise when they eat on camera, but that's the way it goes. I hope you're all well. I took a break for about 4 or 5 days. I needed it. I enjoyed it. I'm still a little groggy because I just woke up from a nap. Fuck you, motherfucker. Yes, I'm old. You know what? I was up till 4 in the morning. My sleep patterns are still totally off. And I'm up till 4 in the morning, and I just woke up from a nap. And I had a dream about, I've talked about him on the stream before. I had a dream about the guy who died recently, Kelly Flock, who was sort of a mentor of mine, who greenlit Twisted Metal and greenlit Jet Moto and Warhawk and all these games. And he was young. He died when he was 65. But he was 39 in the dream, and he was, healthy and vigorous and, laughing and shit. And at the end, he starts to walk away. And I says to him, hey, aren't you dead? And he said, yeah. He says, oh yeah, I made a deal with some people to just come down and say hey for a little bit. And then he kind of walked off. Now, you know me, I don't know. I'm agnostic on this stuff. I don't know if it was a visitation. I don't know if it was just a dream, because he's been on my mind on and off lately. It happens. It happens every single time somebody dies in my life. I have dreams like that. Had one about that with my dad. But again, I'm not acting like there's something supernatural going on. I'm just saying, it might just be the healing process. I don't fucking know. Anyway, welcome to the Resident Evil live showcase watch party fucking thing. Oh, shut up. Continue to yes, I shaved my head. I got rid of the beard. Guess what, kids? I literally have people going, the beard looks better there. The beard looks bad gone. Thank you, fuck you. That's my answer. It'll come back. It's already coming back because I don't give a fuck. This is not a look I'm going for. This is convenience. I did this because it feels so good, especially when you dig a car. It feels good. And then I did this because I was getting tired of it, but it'll come right back. Classic says, Jaffe, do you think your game sensibilities will gel with RE8, even if it has story cutscenes? I have no idea. I have enjoyed pretty much all the REs I've played for the most part. I mean, I'm trying to think. There was like a 3DS one, Revelations or something, that was like, whatever. But I'm absolutely totally jazzed. Yes, Spaz, I played through RE7. I loved it. I played it in, what's it called? VR. I played through Resident Evil Remake 2. I'm almost through, but RE4, I've never finished it. I'm probably about 70% of the way through it. It's weird. Those games are the ones, the Resident Evil games, for some reason I'm compelled to actually finish those games. So no, I'm very much looking forward to this new one. Let's see where we are right now. Let's see how close we are. They got a countdown clock going on the stream at the moment, and they're telling us that we are about 5 minutes away. So I'm excited. I don't think this is going to be a very long stream from Capcom. I think they're going to kind of get in, get out. I want to say I heard it's about 20 minutes long. They're going to be talking about the Netflix show. They're going to be talking about a movie. They're going to obviously be talking about the new one. There's rumors they're going to show off the remake RE4. Nobody really fucking knows. But I'm excited. I really like this series. I'm really excited that I have new hardware to play the new Resident Evil on, because it looks really Exciting. It's very evocative. I love the setting, the kind of wintry fall, out rural kind of thing. I love werewolves and shit like that. So I'm pretty jazzed. And then after this, we'll talk about what we've seen. Maybe we'll just gab for a little bit. And then tomorrow we're back with normal Gabbing and Games episodes after taking a short break earlier in the week, which I appreciate you guys giving me a little time to do that. What's up, Bubba? The charger. Oh, the red thing? Yeah, it's right there, baby. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. What do you mean, Mr. One-Up? What do I think the surprise is? There's supposed to be a surprise? Oh, there's rumors they're going to bundle the original RE1, 2, and 3 digitally. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care about that. I'm sure some people do, and I appreciate that. But for me, I've played those games. I've never finished any of those games. I have zero desire to go back and play RE1 at this point. But that's pretty great. I would much rather have the surprise be a Resident Evil 4 remake, frankly. Yes, Salman says, I can't believe werewolves and vampires will be making their debut in Resident Evil. That's what I hear as well. I heard werewolves. I hadn't heard vampires until just now. But my goodness gracious, these guys are really good about, keeping the mechanics interesting. So I wonder what they'll do with vampires. I mean, clearly they'll play with light. I don't know if they'll play with what is the one that is Silver Bullet is the werewolf, right? And then the vampire is a stake to the heart. So it would be interesting if there are certain ways you got to kill these guys, very specifically. If you really want to take down the vampire, you got to get close enough and you've got to aim it. And now I'm thinking of that Kratos mini game in God of War 2018. Where he's got the spike and he's got to kind of chisel it into the locks. So I think it's cool, man. I'm absolutely interested for sure in what they're doing. You want RE4 to be a complete remake or a graphics overhaul? Angel, that's a great question. I mean, ideally, a cross potato quality won't kill a vampire. It'll move them back. But that's a great mechanic too. The fact that you hold up your cross and you can at least kind of affect their spatial positionings to get them into under a trap or to get them into sunlight or any of that shit, man. I mean, I hope they really play with the vampire lore and mechanics, and then werewolves as well. I would love to see. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm excited. Clearly, I'm excited. But is this Resident Evil digital only? I don't imagine it is. I don't think they're going to be doing a VR version of this one. I remember the leak that came out recently. I think there were hackers that hacked in Capcom in November, and for a while they were drip feeding data. Well, they released about 2 or 4 big bundles of data, and one of them was the cost that the amount that Sony paid Capcom to put Resident Evil 7 on VR, and I want to say it was something like it was either 10 million, 20 million, or 50 million. I know those are big, different numbers, but it was one of those kind of very clean 10, 20, or 50. So I don't know if they have a customer out there right now that is willing to promote VR in that way. So I have a feeling we're not going to see it on VR, but I would love to. So wait a minute. What do you mean there's a 10-cent acquisition, Nine Lives? I have not heard anything about that. Tridion, 50 million for VR. Well, let's look it up exactly. I'm not saying, look, I don't think they made 50 million back. I think it was a loss leader to get people making VR stuff to show off their hardware. I don't think it was a sense of, hey, it's worth 50 million. It was worth 50 million, although it looks like Brian King is saying it was 15 million or 5 million. I thought it was more than 5 million, but regardless though, Sony paid him some ducats to say, hey, help us show off our thing. So there you go. You're disappointed they're using Ethan again, says Wolfblood. Didn't care much as the main protagonist. I can't even keep any of these fucking protagonists together. They're all kind of the same to me, frankly. I haven't seen the Wolfman, Joseph. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's see. About to start, fellas. I have not seen The Wolfman. Let's make this big, shall we? Okay, I'm going to go quiet just for a few minutes because I want to watch this, but I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to our Resident Evil Showcase. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, here to give you a closer look into what Capcom has coming up for the Resident Evil franchise.
Thank you, Mupo.
We'll be kicking things off
Appreciate
with
it, buddy.
brand new content and an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay that you do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's get started.
It's after the stream, or after the video.
Hey now, think positively, all right? We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else.
Castle Bell heralds danger. The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again.
Mother Miranda, I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg. Because he is in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle. When I find him... No, Mother Miranda. Yes, of course, I understand the importance of the ceremony. I won't let you down.
Can someone please tell me what the hell is going on here?
No. The place is full of nothing but blood and death.
Well, Ethan Winters. There you are.
Oh, I'm kind of done with edibles potato quality. I used them all up. It does look, Keith, that the mansion does look like the first one.
Let's see what you're really made of. Ethan Winters.
That was amazing, but I still have so many questions. Like, when can I pre-order this thing? Perhaps producer Pete Fabiano has some answers for us. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey everyone, I'm Pete Fabiano, producer on Resident Evil Village. When we first announced Resident Evil Village back in June, we only mentioned PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. I'm happy to announce we've been working hard to bring the survival horror experience onto current generation consoles as well. Resident Evil Village will also be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, day and date with next gen. The PS4 version can be upgraded for free to the digital PS5 version, and the Xbox One version gives you free access to the game on Xbox Series X through Smart Delivery. It's also my pleasure to tell you exactly when you can get your hands on the game. Resident Evil Village will be available worldwide on May 7th, 2021, with pre-orders kicking off today.
Fuck pre-orders.
Alongside the
oh, you
standard
turn
edition,
into a werewolf.
we have a few other options for the
Look
game.
at that, you are a werewolf.
First, we have the digital deluxe edition, available on all platforms. Players will be able to heighten their survival horror experience with extra content, including in-game items that call back to Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. There's also a collector's edition for consoles that includes all the Deluxe Edition content, as well as a striking figure of Chris Redfield, a steelbook case, poster, and art book.
Who
And
would
for those
buy
of you
this?
who
I don't
haven't
know.
played the previous
Some of you
entry,
will.
we have the
of
Resident
you
Evil
will.
Village and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Bundle. This lets you get your hands on the award-winning RE7 while you wait for Resident Evil Village. Pre-order any of these editions, and you'll be able to get your hands on both the Mr. Raccoon weapon accessory and their survival resource pack, which will offer additional support during the first few hours of gameplay. Finally, digital pre-orders from the PlayStation Store will receive an exclusive Resident Evil Village mini soundtrack.
All right, I've been waiting for this. I know you've been waiting for this. It's time for the world premiere first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay. Alongside this first look, we have Pete Fabiano back to offer some insights as well. Let's take a look.
That sounds fucking great, man. I didn't know that you could be a werewolf in the game.
Now we're here to give you an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay. Just like in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, you'll be taking control of Ethan Winters. You'll make your way from the village to the castle. Players will need to get in and search for their kidnapped daughter. As you've noticed by now, Resident Evil Village keeps the first-person perspective. We think it really draws players into the detailed world we've created. You'll see a lot of those little details come to life here. The team put a ton of effort into creating a truly authentic feel. From
How much
art
effort should we
design to
put in?
technology,
How about a ton?
Everything
All right.
ties in great
I'll put it on the schedule.
and creates some
Let's do a
beautiful
ton.
visuals. Now it's time to meet some of the castle denizens. As you'd expect, a warm welcome's not really what's in store for Ethan.
Man blood.
Falls into man blood? I could do
Let's
that.
take a look at him.
I can bleed.
Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Shifting gears a bit, we're finally going to show off some combat. It's not just about shooting. Guarding will also be an important part of the game. Each type of enemy has their own distinct way of fighting, so you'll need to change up your strategy.
It's like Hagrid. Oh, look at that big motherfucker.
Everyone knows what to do with red barrels, right? Some of you will remember a similar management system in Resident Evil 4. This time around, we've added crafting, which allows you to create items such as first aid and ammo. There's also an assortment of weapons to find and utilize throughout the game.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
How do you know my name?
Hogwash is in the
Anyone
game.
who is anyone has heard of the likes
He
of
totally lives in a little
The merchant
wagon.
makes a return.
His mom makes him
This time
sleep
he's known
outside in the
as
wagon. Is
the
that
Duke. You'll be going to him to buy and sell weapons, amongst other things. The director wanted to give him a unique look, and you'll often find him in different situations.
Our wrestling's on. I gotta go. Where's Oscar?
He's an interesting fella. Smash away with your trusty knife. There's plenty of items to find in your travel. Wait, do you hear that? And we've also got extra objectives outside of the main ones. Of course, it goes without saying that there'll be plenty of puzzles to solve for players to move forward. Oh, and plenty of surprises to keep you on your toes.
I haven't cut open a man in a while. Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch.
Well, that's one way to end the video. Now that we've shown you what's in store,
It looks great. I mean, it looks like Resident Evil,
let's
but
take a look at the exclusive PlayStation 5 demo.
nice.
For this demo, players won't be playing as Ethan.
Stefan, you
But as
could
a character
you
we're
could probably
referring
use the
to
knife
as
to get it too.
Maiden. Unlike the actual game, this experience doesn't feature combat or even blocking.
Today, oh, that would be so great.
We're hoping to have players get a real feel for the visuals and audio as they take the Maiden on her journey to find a way out of the castle. And you can download the exclusive demo on PlayStation 5 today. Of course, we
Fucking
want as many
awesome.
people as possible to get a chance to play. So we'll have a separate new demo available on all platforms, ready for sometime this spring.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Resident Evil franchise, with the very first game releasing in Japan back on March 22nd, 1996. Since then, the series has expanded well beyond the realm of video games. From toys and board
yes,
games
I am.
to CG movies to live-action Hollywood films, Resident Evil has become a cultural icon. Resident Evil continues to offer surprises around every corner, so let's pass it along to producer Tsuyoshi Kanda to hear more about what you can expect in 2021.
Earlier this month, we started inviting players to join a closed beta test. The test won't happen until later next week, but I want to use this chance to reveal more details. With the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil coming on March 22nd, we are excited to celebrate this milestone with our fans. Last September, we showed off a piece of key art showcasing some of Resident Evil's iconic characters to start the celebration.
Shut off a piece
Now,
of key art. Okay.
I'm happy to announce what was behind that. Let's take a look.
Charisma, how excited am I? I mean, it's day one for me, for sure. Oh, this is neat. What's this? Hang on. I'll tell you in a minute, Johnny Charisma. I'm sorry, Deathmatch and RE2? No, that's stupid.
Reverse is one of the ways we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the franchise, showcasing so many of the characters that fans love. It'll be available for free to anyone who purchases Resident Evil Village, so be sure to follow the Resident Evil social channels for the latest news.
That's cool. It's free. That's nice.
And check out the official website for even more details.
So, how excited? I mean, I'm excited in the sense
of Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft, congratulations to the Resident Evil
that I
team
love.
on the 25th
I
anniversary.
love the
We can't
franchise,
wait
and the
to get
game
our
looks
hands on
really
our
great.
release. For the occasion, we are bringing a celebration to our game, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. For a limited time, you will be able to collect some of
But
the
I mean, it
iconic
looks very
outfits and items
traditional.
from the original Resident Evil trilogy. Everyone but
Which is
logs
great,
in
which is
during
what
the
I want.
event
It looks like
will
comfort
get Leon
food.
Kennedy's Raccoon Police Department outfit as a warm-up. Now let's have a look at some of these.
皆様こんにちは。バイオハザードの映像作品にてプロデューサーを務めていますカプコン
Yeah,
の
totally.
小林
I mean,
です。
it looks great. I'm excited.
昨年
I'm
発
getting
表
it
し
day
ました
one.
フル 3DCG アニメーションバイオハザードインフィニットダークネスについてお話ししたいと思います。ゲームでおなじみのレオンとクレアが活躍する物語となっております。時間軸はバイオハザード4の後の、数年後のお話となっておりまして、レオンがスーツ姿でとある場所でゾンビ事件に巻き込まれます。この作品はですね、Netflix にて全世界、配信になりますので皆さんお楽しみください。
Wow, a lot's been happening, and I hope you enjoyed watching. But if you missed anything along the way, don't worry. Keep an eye on the Resident Evil social channels and official website, which will be sharing everything from today's show. As a quick reminder, Resident Evil Village is available for pre-order starting today for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Steam for PC. And don't forget, PlayStation 5 owners get a sneak peek through downloadable content available worldwide starting today. It has been an absolute honor to celebrate the amazing Resident Evil leading up to its 25th anniversary with all of you across the globe. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Well, there we go. All right. Well, first, I'm gonna get the demo downloading right now, and then let's talk about what we've seen. Yeah, his sharp suit. I know that was weird. It's like, oh, here's Leon or whoever it was in a sharp suit. I'm glad. I mean, I like it. Like somebody said, short and sweet. That's really good. You thought? I mean, look. I mean, you the gameplay scenes, the aiming looked terrible. Wow, really? I don't know, man. I liked. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be all like, that was the most amazing fucking thing I've ever fucking seen. But I mean, I didn't expect it to be. Everything that they showed looks like more of what you love about Resident Evil. So it's kind of like, what could they have done that would have, made you excited? Game Day Sam says this was disappointing. Really? That's fascinating. I thought it looked really good. What did you think was disappointing? Hang on. Why don't you call in and talk to me, Game Day Sam? I'm going to put the Elgato on. I'm going to download this demo, although somebody's saying it's not available yet, but let's look for it. Let's look for it together, shall we? I got to swap out the HDMI cable because, I've been playing the Xbox. I'm going to tell you something. What's been great about the goddamn Xbox, and I think they have to have this for the PlayStation. It just never worked that well for me, is you can go into the app, the Xbox app. The app makes it so easy to go to the Game Pass app and just tap shit. It's like, oh, I want Madden. I want, whatever. And you hit it and it just starts downloading. Like, I'm literally lying in bed last night. I forget what I downloaded. What did I get last night? I think it was like Crackdown 3 and Knights and Bikes. It's just so easy. But instead, I'm going to have to fucking, get up and change all this shit. So hang on one second. Un momento. But yeah, it looks good, man. I don't know what people are expecting. I think it looks like a fun Resident Evil game. I think at this point, I mean, what would they have to do to get you all excited other than remake stuff you loved and press your nostalgia buttons? If they do too much out of the norm, they're going to piss off the fan base. All right, let's see. All right. Imagine if they brought back fixed camera angles. Can you imagine? Okay, Andre, you can do that in the PlayStation app too. Yeah, I have never had any luck with any of the kind of remote installation on my PS4. So I'll try to set it up on my PS5. I'm not surprised you can do that. I assume that you could. It was interesting, though, that Solomon says, I like the fact it's coming out on PS4. I mean, I guess people get upset about it because they want an exclusive for PS5 that you can only do on PS5. But I just, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, man. I mean, people wanted games to be mainstream. They wanted games to make a lot of money. I assure you, if you were sitting in Jim Ryan's chair at this point, you would absolutely not be going, let's not put this title on PS4. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And I feel, yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you want, this is so confusing. Am I in the PlayStation Store or not? I don't fucking know. I guess maybe if I search, am I looking up games? Maybe, who the fuck knows? No, it's called Maiden, right? Hang on. Are they making it all hard to find? Let's see. I'd have sex with those ladies. I would. Not the tall one necessarily. Nothing's wrong with it being tall, but I like the other ones more. But then they'd want to kill you. I don't like that. What are you going to do? Can't connect? What do you mean can't connect? You're connected, you old so-and-so. Help me out. Resident Evil. Hang on. Hang on a second. But no, I'm happy to see that. You know, I'll tell you something. Capcom, they really are. This is not a correct thing to say, but it sounds kind of correct. There's something true about it, but I haven't thought through the way to articulate it. But they really are one of the last, just real meat and potatoes video game companies out there. Okay, are you guys? No one can connect to anything? Or just the search? Let's see. I can connect to that. All right, well, we'll wait. I can't wait for this. I'm so excited for this fucking game. This game was made by one dude. One dude. You're having problems too? All right, yeah, PSN might be down because everybody wants it. That's right. That's why Sony must buy them, Brian King. You know, I was looking for the valuation of Capcom, and I was very surprised to find it. I mean, it's up there. It's. I want to say it was like $2 billion, which maybe that's wrong again. I'm getting my numbers mixed up today. I'm still kind of on vacation time, but yeah, I mean that would be a great. It's $7 billion. Are you sure? Okay, you're getting it on Steam. You can get it on Steam. It says you can't get it anywhere except PlayStation 5, Rob. You can download it on PS5 on Steam. But regardless, though, yeah, okay. So $7 billion is probably outside of Sony's budget. But anybody who, if somebody bought Capcom and they continued to let Capcom be Capcom, that would be a huge stake in the heart for whoever didn't get acquisition to that company. Because they're really one of the last few gamer companies out there. Amon Jaffe, since Santa Monica's working on a new IP, I feel God of War might almost be done. God of War's not going anywhere. God of War made $500 million in revenue, the 2018 version of it. So no, they've already announced they're making a sequel. I think what Sony Santa Monica is trying to do, understandably, is kind of pivot to become more of a sort of company that is like Naughty Dog. I know when I was at Sony, we tried to do this. When I was at Santa Monica, we tried to do this where you would get like the whole team's finishing up Ragnarok. But then you've got a group that have broken off, like the director, some of the writers, the art director that they're hiring, a couple programmers, just some key people to kind of really demo it out, prototype it out, figure out kind of what exactly it is. And then once Ragnarok wraps, the team would roll over onto a title that has been relatively thoroughly vetted and put through pre-production. You meant the game will be coming soon. Oh, there's no way to know that. I don't. One thing doesn't. The fact that they've announced a new game doesn't mean God of War is coming in 2021. I would be stunned if God of War comes in 2021, but it's possible. They said Maiden was only PS5. Right. That's right. Yeah. I hope they revive the canceled title that $100 million. Oh, I don't know, Reza. I mean, so Reza's talking about Sony Santa Monica had a title called, was it Daybreakers or something like that? And they've come out and talked about what this is, so I don't think it's a problem. I can share it with you now. But if you don't remember, it was really strange when it was pitched to me because I was like, really? I mean, it sounded so goofy in a kind of story way, but then I heard scientists talking about it, so I guess it's possible. But the gist of it was that the Earth stopped rotating, okay? And obviously the Earth stops rotating and the oceans shift and flood part of the Earth, and then part of the Earth is locked in perpetual daylight and part of the Earth is locked in darkness. And it was going to be this persistent online game where you were traveling in these things called arcs, which were just these massive, almost like that movie that Peter Jackson produced where you had cities on tank treads that were going through the wastelands. I don't think it was that big, but it was that idea. And there would be like almost like pirate ships on wheels that you would be having battles with other online players with. It was something like that. And I don't think it's about let's go back and do it again. I think after they spent whatever they spent, maybe they were just like, it's kind of not working. It's not as fun as we thought. I have no idea. I have no idea why they pulled the plug other than to say that it wasn't working, you know. It looks like Sony is trying one thing and Microsoft's trying something else. Old versus new, Rocky versus Creed. Which one is Creed? Is that Microsoft, Joe? Oh, absolutely, Brian. It is imaginative. And I had lunch with the art director of it, and he showed me the characters and the costumes and all that. And they were really great. There was great art, which you wouldn't be surprised to learn because it's coming from Sony, Santa Monica, and everything. I just think it was one of those things where I don't know if this is what happened, by the way. I have no idea. I can just tell you my experience directing a hit game. So you direct, and I've directed a number of hit games. And I had two big games in a row, right? I had Twisted Black and then God of War. And I was like given so much freedom. And I think everybody assumes when you have that level of freedom, you must know what the fuck you're doing. I can't speak for Stig, but what I just described to you, which is what this game was, is absolutely way different and way more ambitious than what God of War 3 was. And so it could have just been that they weren't ready to make a game like that. Like they were going from, climbing a nice sized mountain to trying to climb Everest. It's like, you're not ready for that yet. Even though you guys are super talented, you've never made a game like that. I have no idea. But apparently it wasn't good enough to keep in production, and there you go. My favorite Ari of all time, man, it's Johnny Charisma. I don't know. My chatting is not heavily censored. It's YouTube. I have 3 words censored. I have hate speech censored, and that is it. That is it. Everything else it's live chat, man. What word is it that's bothering you? Give me a hint to try to describe what word you were trying to type that you weren't allowed to type. There's nothing in the settings I have that suggests that I'm doing that. You couldn't even say the fuck word. Somebody type the word fuck, please. Let me know what happens. I'm almost certain you can say the fuck word. And if you can't, trust me, I don't have the fuck word removed. I don't know where that would be. There you go. Eternal said fuck. There you go, pal. There you go, dick, fuck. Bring them on, pals. See? Boobs. Boobs not a bad word. Fuck word. See, come on. Now, maybe you spelled it wrong. After $100 million spent, says Reza, it should have been in the final stages. How could it end up getting canceled? Well, I don't know if it was $100 million spent, but let's assume it was. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just how? Because the you know, people think they know. I don't know. You give people enough rope, they've made you a lot of money. I made a video yesterday that I put up there, and I might do a follow-up because I've seen some people responding. The video was basically about... That's weird. So some of you guys can type the word fuck, and other you guys can't type the word fuck. I don't know what to tell you. I can't fix that. I don't know how to fix that shit. I'll look into it, but it's weird that, you know, I mean, literally Potato Quality just wrote fucking, and it's not showing. It's weird. I don't know. I have no idea, guys. I don't know. I'm there. Let's move on. I'll look into it if I can. Okay. So what was I saying? See, this train of thought. So anyway, the idea being that there's an assumption that if you've made people a lot of money, and this is a hard thing to articulate, so just bear with me while we're waiting for the demo to get up on the PlayStation Store. Mupo says if you're a virgin, you can't type the word fuck. There you go. There you go. This is a hard thing to articulate, but I'm going to try it. So people have said to me, they've been like, well, Jaffe, I understand that you think that maybe going forward, Sony is going to be a little bit more or a lot more conservative about the bets they make in terms of what they greenlight. But you have to understand Neil Druckmann has delivered to these guys 2 of their best-selling games ever. Corey has delivered a fucking masterpiece of a game, and I think that word is overused, but in this case, maybe it's appropriate. A fucking phenomenal game. Made tons of fucking money. Wonderful game. Insomniac with Spider-Man. You know, you'd think that these guys could go to Jim Ryan and say, pal, I'm making whatever the fuck I want. I mean, in a nice way. But the funny part about it is, and this is where the kind of the press... And I've benefited from this a lot, but this is where the press kind of doesn't do a real service to what it means to make a video game, okay? Because in movies, like people try to apply that logic that you see in movies, like, oh, Spielberg made E.T., let him go make whatever the fuck he wants. He made Jurassic, let him make Schindler's. Christopher Nolan made Batman. Oh, Warner Brothers is like, fuck, baby, go make all your original shit. We don't care, just keep coming back to the DCU. The problem is in video games, in a movie, the director really, and the screenwriter, but the director really does, or at least in the past they have, now it's the executives, really is a key determining factor to the success of the title. In video games, that's true at first to get the franchise established. But once it's established, Corey could leave and Neil could leave tomorrow. And the next 3 God of Wars would still sell a shit ton of copies. They could make Uncharted and Last of Us till the cows come home, and they would still sell a ton of copies. Now, would they be as good? It depends who they get, but there's a good chance they wouldn't. But they would be as good, if not better, when it comes to execution. A lot of people, you know, the visual quality, the effects, the controls, all of those things are, once you've established it, it's hard work to improve on it, but you know what the roadmap is. So there's a lot more people that can do that work. And so it's not the same, right? Here's how I know it's not the same, because Twisted Metal 3 and 4 outsold Twisted Metal 2. I know it's not the same because Amy Hennig on Uncharted was thought to be irreplaceable, and yet they replaced her with Neil Druckmann. I remember when I told Sony I was leaving, I was thought to be irreplaceable, but they easily replaced me with other people, right? So it's not to say the role of the director isn't important. It's very important. It's a very important job, but you got to be careful not to mix up the director of a game and the director of a movie, because the level of importance in one is not equatable to the level of importance in the other. And in that, I think a lot of people make these assumptions like, well, Neil's going to get to make whatever he wants next, or Corey's going to get to make whatever he wants next. Now, that was true maybe back in the day at Sony. It's not really true now, I don't think, when these budgets are getting up to like $200+ million. So there you go. Do you think Tim Schafer's doing with streaming in-house is more akin to making a movie director? No, it's very different. Are you forgetting how unimpressive God of War Ascension was? I didn't play it, man. I know it was technically a really big success, but I know it didn't do that well. But that was more, that wasn't really. You don't look at Todd Pappy and blame the game director. You look at marketing and you say, you guys are milking a dead franchise. It needs a break, man. It needs a goddamn break. You're currently in college, says Rachel, and love both movies and games. Don't know which to choose as a career. Any advice? Well, they're both... Okay, yeah. Okay, well, what do you want to do in both? Give me that answer first. So help me out and figure out the demo. Is the two things. Is the demo up? And is the... Is demo up, and what's happening about there's a Tencent acquisition? I will be playing God of War Ascension. I want to play it. No, you're absolutely right. Jay, I'll get back to your writing thing. Jay Song says, all they can do is expand on the base content, but you never know what you could have gotten if the main creator took it further. No, you don't, but they don't care. You think Jim Ryan's sitting around going, God, I know we're making shit tons of money off Uncharted, but man, I will always regret not knowing where Amy could have taken it. I mean, maybe he'll say that in the press, but I'm not saying I'm not casting shade on Amy. Amy's phenomenal. I'm just saying that I don't think that drives business decisions. Tencent's looking to buy a U.S. developer. I understand. Okay, understood. So you want to be a writer? Well, look. Okay, if you want to be a writer, let me put it this way to you, sir. The fact that you're even asking, do you want to write movies or do you want to write games, is indicative of the fact that you don't really understand either. And that's not, I mean, you're in school. That's the job, is to learn. So I'm not like taking the piss, but, game writing is not filmic writing, right? Game storytelling at its best is not done through cutscenes, ideally. I would say this: if you are a good enough writer to get a job in movies and TV or video games, get a job in movies and TV, because it pays a lot better. It's hard work, but you don't have a lot of these fucking bosses you have to answer to and crunch and all this stuff unless you're working in a writer's room, and even then you're unionized. It's a much better quality of life if you can make it. You get insane amounts of royalties if you have a hit. You get residuals for the rest of your fucking life because of the union. Again, I don't have anything against Sony at all. Sony treated me so wonderfully. But people remain surprised, and I'm not. It was never part of the deal. I don't make a dime off God of War anymore. If Corey left tomorrow, unless he's just got some crazy deal that I've never heard of, he wouldn't make a dime off God of War tomorrow. Even if if Corey left tomorrow and for some reason it sold 20 million copies in a day, he wouldn't see a dime. Unless his deal is extraordinarily different than anyone else's I've heard of, except maybe Mark Cerny's. And I don't know that. I just heard Mark Cerny might actually get back in because he's a contractor, not an employee. So anyway, that's my little take on that whole thing. Rob wants to dance. I think that's great, sir. I think you should dance. Dance like no one's watching or something. I saw Whitney Houston live. It was great. Okay. Black Myth Wukong will own Ragnarok. It might. Who's to say, man? I mean, it looks really good at this point. I did hear that Opera bought Yo-Yo Games that have Game Maker Studio. Yes. And, Game Maker Studio is no joke. A lot of people tell me, I absolutely want to work in games and shit. Make a fucking game in Game Maker. It's really easy. I mean, it's hard to make a good game, but you'll know within a day or a week if this is for you. That's the thing that they have now that we didn't have growing up is if Rob the Mod is making a game right now. He just got Unity. He's making a fucking game. And Rob knows now he doesn't know all of it because he hasn't been through the whole process at a big company level, but he knows more than most now about, is this something he has an aptitude for? Is this something he's interested in? So, all right. Anyway, okay, so the store is down. Sounds like the store is down. There you go. which is unfortunate because I really want that demo. Let's see what's happening in the news. And then what I'm going to do is, like I said, this is not a very long stream today. We are back tomorrow with normal streams. And then I probably will be streaming tonight if I can't get this demo. I've been playing a lot of Gears of War 5. I've been playing a lot of Doom. There's a bunch of really cool indie games. I want to play this Maiden trailer for sure. But let's see. You know what? I'm going to bring something up real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this. This was from Sony today. They dropped a new Destruction All-Stars trailer. Yeah, Cold War. I want to play Cold War single player, Connor. And Connor, I'm going to be opening your truck. Connor, do you want me to open that on video and then put it up as video, or do you want me to open it on stream? Okay, hang on. So they put this out today. And this is interesting. Now, the fact that the game is free doesn't really matter in the sense that what I'm about to say, it doesn't matter because it's free. People are going to try it anyway. I don't know why this is so pixely. It's pixely on my end over here too. But it's weird though that we are less than a month, I think, away. And we still haven't seen gameplay. I mean, this is gameplay here, but we haven't actually just seen, here's a match. This is what this game is. I think, they've released some written stuff. We actually had a tester of this game on the stream walking us through what this is. But they have absolutely yet to release any specific, here is a match of Destruction All-Stars. Which I don't know if that's weird. I don't know if that's telling. It's strange, though, don't you think? A month away, and there is real time. There's real time footage in this, but like that's real time there. That's real time there. That's that's real time. But they're not actually showing you a full game. It's weird. It's potentially troubling. May not be. Doesn't have to be. Let's put it this way: if it's not troubling. If it's not suggestive, then it's just a really bad move. Like if these guys release a game and it's the next Rocket League, which I hope it is, it looks really fun in the trailers. I would have them talk to their marketing people and say, what's the point of this? At this point in the life, why are you releasing this trailer? Why don't you excite people about the goddamn game at this point? Nobody cares about the characters yet. Nobody cares. We've been being pitched the style of this game for over a year now. We get it. It's Fortnite. It's cars. It's cool. I mean, I'm not taking the piss again. I like it, but show some fucking gameplay. Che says, Jaffe, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Jaffe, I'm wondering what happened to that bearded guy that used to host this channel. I don't know. I woke up one day and he wasn't there. He one day wasn't there, baby. He just vanished. I have no idea. You know what it was? I got tired of playing with it, and so I got rid of it. And then it'll come back. It's already starting to come back. In a month it'll be back. It's fast. It's fast actin' tenactin, or whatever the fuck that's called. But yeah, people say I look younger, but I'm not chasing that. I wouldn't mind feeling younger, but I don't really care if I look younger. Sony usually shows gameplay, says Johnny. It's understandably weird to see a premiere like this. Yeah, I agree. It's strange. Cover and Okasa says, Jaffe, the game is fine. I mean, well, explain that to me. Why do you think that? I'm not saying the game's not fine. People are funny. People are fucking funny. You know what? I made a video the other day about, I'm not saying you're like this, but so I made a video the other day about I think it was the director situation at Sony or in AAA, and somebody was talking about why are you so negative? I'm like, I'm not negative. I'm just interested. I'm curious about these things. I as somebody who has worked in the business for a very long time, as someone who loves the medium, that interests me. It interests me that you have a game that for all intents and purposes, based on how most game companies and certainly Sony have promoted their product, is suddenly promoting it in a very different way. What does it mean? Does it mean the game's in trouble? Does it just mean, no, they got a new head of marketing, fuck you. They have shown from their old job working at Procter & Gamble that if you actually show the product, it reduces sales by 20%. I don't fucking know. But I'm interested. I'm interested in the fact that where is that line if you're an executive like Jimbo Ryan or Hermie Holst and you have very creative people that work for you, but you also have budgets going through the roof? Where's the line between giving them the freedom they need to continue to want to work for you and being disrespectful of your investors' huge amounts of money? That's not negativity. That's interest. I assure you, sir and ma'am or whatever, I can point you to a number of YouTube channels that all they do, or streams, is talk about how great everything is. And they're just a fucking cheerleader for the industry. And that's fine. But I don't need a cheerleader for the industry. I'm already cheered up about the industry. I love the industry. I'm about to ban you, and here's why I'm about to have you banned. Not because this is the who's cranky all of a sudden. I got all cranky. I don't mind contrarians. I don't mind people who disagree. I don't even mind people who think they want to call me out on something that they don't like about what I'm doing. I appreciate that. But it's clear you want to take pot shots from the cheap seats, sir, and I would rather you have the balls to call in and actually talk to me, or talk to me about what it is that's really bothering you, sir. That would be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. But if you're just going to sit there and be a prick, I'm going to have Rob ban you to fucking Kingdom Come, all right? So your choice, buddy. What happened with Cyberpunk? All the positive hype with fake gameplay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, there was a great article written about the review. Here's great, tying to what we're talking about. There was an article written recently that talks about, well, okay, the bad news is Cyberpunk turned out, at least in its current phase, to not be very good. But the good news is that it lets you know what reviewers are full of shit. And it goes back and is like, look at this fucking reviewer. This reviewer gave it a 9 out of 10. This reviewer gave it a 10 out of 10. And you read some of the fucking flowery prose and it's just like, it's a masterpiece. It's brilliant. It's amazing. It's groundbreaking. You've never been able to do any of this in a fucking game before. And then you're like, what are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? But, these people don't get called out that much. It's kind of shame. All right. So hello, Max B. Let Rob get his personal info and make him call with you. What? Yeah, call me. I don't give a shit. Jaffe's game studios sometimes reveal their games years sooner than they should have, and the final game ends up dramatically different. Is it only marketing strategy or what, says Reza? It's a lot. It's a lot of things. I mean, I don't know many games that end up dramatically different than the first reveal. I mean, I'm sure we can cite some examples. But, I mean, graphics change and specs change. Certain mechanics that were shown to you 2 years ago get removed because when a new mechanic gets added, it doesn't work anymore. But I think that has just more to do with, some companies see value in hyping up games far in advance. For a good example is right now, I think the companies, especially the hardware companies, it makes sense for them to say, look at what we've got coming in the next 2 years. Because those things will motivate people to go buy hardware, which will make them shit tons of money in terms of the fees that other publishers pay to put their stuff on their hardware the more they have sold out there. But I think short of that, it's not really important. I don't think knowing that a new Resident Evil multiplayer game is coming in a year. I don't know. I'm just making something up. who cares? You know, it doesn't really make me, you know, I know they want to do pre-orders. That matters. At least it does in retail. Maybe that's it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like Destruction All-Stars is going to release in its beta, and we'll get a physical release once it's done. Yeah, I don't know, Jay. All I know is right now they haven't really shown a lot of stuff, and that's weird to me. It's unusual. Why do some companies keep games a secret for a long time? That's probably because they don't want people to rip them off. I understand that. I absolutely understand that. I mean, it's you know, you got to absolutely be careful. It doesn't take you that long to rip off a mechanic. I know that Doom, for example, wasn't the first game to do glory kills. Hell, God of War did glory kills, right? But if you look at 2016, I don't know when Doom was revealed and when that mechanic was revealed, but if that was revealed 18 months before the game ships, I'm not saying it was. It's just on my mind because I'm playing it. If that was revealed 18 months before the game came out and there was like an indie developer watching and going, hey, that would be great. That solves our problem with how to get players up close to the enemy and take a risk. Boom, suddenly their really cool, sexy mechanic is now in the new indie darling. So I do think there's value when it comes to certain things like that. Keeping your cards close to your vest or chest. I'm not sure what it is. But I think that's why. That one makes more sense to me. Vito, what is your question, sir? I didn't see it. Vito, come on, man. Don't be a moron. Look at people chatting. Do you see me? Come on now. Are you that sensitive, pal? You're not the only one. I have people say that to me all the time. He's ignoring my question. I'm not ignoring your question. I'll answer any question. I don't see it. I'm looking at other shit, man. You could, and yes, you want to call in? Call in. I guarantee you I'll take your call. You want to pay? I'll absolutely read your chat, which doesn't mean you have to do either. But I'm not ignoring things for the sake of ignoring. I mean, sometimes I am if they're stupid. But a lot of it has to do with I just don't see it. But Roz, I see. I get a little notification. I get a little sound. I saw colorful. There's a little Monopoly or a Fallout dude with the gun. Ryan89 says, Jaffe, thank you for super chat, by the way, sir. He says, Jaffe, would you work with Xbox if they approached you? I love my Xbox. I absolutely love my Xbox. I would, you know, assuming they would, and Phil Spencer wanted to work with me, given the fact that he's blocked me or his media team has blocked me. I don't know if they would want to work with me, but you know, if this, and I don't mean this, I want to be real careful when I say this, because I hate when I hear actors say shit like this, where it's like, you go to some actor who hasn't worked in a long time or worked on anything big. It would be like going to John Travolta. And it's like, if Tarantino asked you to come back and do a sequel to Pulp Fiction, would you do it? And it's like, well, it would have to be a really good story. It'd have to be fuck you, bullshit. You'd go back and work at all, let alone for him in a heartbeat, right? So I'm not trying to pitch that. What I'm trying to say, though, is it depends, because I'm enjoying not designing games right now. And I don't have to design games right now. I love doing this right now. So when I say it would have to be the right situation, I literally mean it. It would have to be like, Jaffe, we already have a team. If you guys meet and spend a week together and you really vibe, you can make the game with that team. You know, it would have to be that kind of thing. Or, Jaffe, we love this idea you've got. There's a team that's made a game like that, but it didn't have the same juice that you could bring. That's what I mean when it has to be the right situation. What I don't want to do is if they say, Jaffe, here's some money, go find a team, put a team together, find real estate, find a building, get an office assistant. I don't want to do that anymore. That's exhausting. And I've done it before. I've done it a couple of times at this point, and it was a great experience, man. I loved it, but you know, people don't get that. You got to move on, man. You got to move on and do new things. How many times you want to climb the mountain? Johnny Charisma says, it would be so nice to see you come back, buddy. I'm back. I'm right here. Vito says, why did you leave Santa Monica after God of War 2? See, I read it, you old so-and-so. Why didn't you leave after you concluded the series since it's originally yours? I believe it could have been different and better. Okay, that's a lot of questions, sir. I made a video, if you actually are really curious, where I dive deep into why I left. But the main reason is I wanted to do something different. I had an opportunity to open a company with a guy I'd worked with and had a lot of success with, which was Scott in Utah, although I worked in San Diego and Santa Monica. And I wanted a chance to make some real fucking crazy money, as they say in Crazy Taxi. It didn't work out, but that was the main reason I left. And I really said what I wanted to say in God of War 1. I didn't feel, I didn't feel like I have more to express. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I made it. I made what I wanted to make. So that's my answer. A lot of people don't get it, and I appreciate that. When I was a whippersnapper, I don't know if you're whippersnappers, but when I was a whippersnapper, you guys just don't know. You don't know how much I thought I wanted to be a movie maker. I wanted to be a movie maker so bad. I didn't really want to make a movie. I just wanted to have that life, right? And I couldn't fathom when I would see professional industry folks in movies stop directing, stop writing. It's like, why would they ever do that? You are at the top of the mountain. Why would you not make another movie? Or why would you, take a year off? It's insane. You have to be lying. There has to be something going on. And it's like, once you do that, once you've gone through it, you understand it. But until you go through it, I get why people are skeptical, man. I get it. Hello, Saltiest Gamer. What's new? I don't know. I took 3 days off. I took the weekend off and I took 3 days off. And I missed it terribly, but I was very happy to do it ultimately. I needed the break. I'm still a little groggy because I just woke up from a nap like the old fuck I am. But I'm glad to be back making videos, doing streams, playing the video games, having a good time. How are you, good sir? Why isn't Santa Monica in Santa Monica? Well, because it was when it was founded and the name was kind of set in stone. It was cast already. The die was cast, as they say. And when they moved, which wasn't that, they just moved, X miles outside of Santa Monica, like 5 or 10 miles out of Santa Monica. Maybe like 5, I think. They just kept the name. That's the gist. Mental health, Owen, is super important. It really fucking is. People don't give it its due. Jaffe said, it's Bacon Magma. Jaffe, thoughts on people saying you are overworked or getting lazy since you took a long break from streaming? Shut up, Bacon Magma, you old fuckstick. I did get high as fuck, though. The last stream I did before this one, I took 4 edibles pretty much back to back. And holy cow, man. But I'll tell you what. We watched Evil Dead, which, boy, I tell you, I'd never seen that before. And we watched Battle Royale, which I had never seen before. I need to see them both again, not high, because I recall going, those were awesome. Like fucking great motion pictures. I love those goddamn things. Gribble Grunger Gaming says, hello there, Jaffe. Hello, Gribble. He says, I just watched, but I wanted to say I love listening to your views. Gribble Grunger. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with us and being part of our community. I often wonder about people who don't type, but who watch streams, because I'm that way too. A lot of times I'll watch streams, but I won't type anything. Because sometimes until you start typing, it feels very awkward. Like, it's like if you type something to somebody and they acknowledge you, it's like, it's weird. Can they see me? I know they can't see me, but it just feels fucking weird. Stealth says, Jaffe, what are your thoughts on Bacon calling you lazy? Look, man, I'm just glad that Bacon Magma is capable of speaking in full sentences. I'm proud of him just like his mom is. It was the classic Evil Dead. It was the 1979-1980 version of Evil Dead. Now you're feeling weird, Jaffe. I don't really know what that means. Please stop touching me. Jaffe, did you see how the bug came out of the guy's hand? Yes. That's what I want Resident Evil to be more like. RE7 didn't have that much. I hear you. I mean, this is really the problem with sequels and long-term franchises is By the way, hey, it's Michael McGeehee. Good to see you, pal. I haven't seen you in a while. So this is the problem with long-term franchises. You know, people start expecting things that are not necessarily what the team has in mind, and sometimes it's stuff that you created in your own fucking mind about what that game means to you. And so it's kind of hard to deliver on that once you've established a brand, because the team's going to want to expand it and play with it, but still stay within reason of what the brand is. And the audience gets splintered about what they love about it, you know? So it's weird, man. But I did like when the bug came out of the guy's hand, sure. Am I more excited for the medium or RE8? Oh my God, RE8. Not that I'm not looking forward to the medium. I will be playing that on stream, but you know, that developer is more hit and miss than the Resident Evil creators are. Daniel says, you are my first streamer I've interacted with. Then you responded, and I can acknowledge that the earth is round. That's exactly right. My woman got me a beautiful Twisted Metal wall poster, says McGeehee, for my birthday. I'll send it to your PO. Would you sign it? Yeah, of course I'll sign it. Send it to me. I got to put my PO box somewhere because people ask me about it. I want to say Johnny Charisma's been asking for my PO box, and I'm going to put it up in Jaffe announcements. I'll pin it to the top in the Discord, and we can go from there. I have seen Michael Myers, the Mortal Kombat movie photos. I have not seen the trailer yet. I think the Godzilla King Kong trailer drops tomorrow, though. Isn't that right? All right, look, fellas, here's the deal. I'm going to take off because I got to get some shit done. I will be back today. I will be here's what I can guarantee you. I will be back tomorrow. I will be back on Friday. We will probably do a member thing this weekend. I'm not sure yet, okay? I probably will be streaming tonight. I want to stream the Resident Evil trailer. I want to stream the single player Call of Duty campaign a little bit. So there you go. But tomorrow we're back though. Tomorrow we are doing a normal gabbing game. Around 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'll let you know tomorrow. But I'll see you guys, some of you guys tonight probably. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you all the members. Thank you all the parts of the community. And I will see you guys very soon. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Rob. Thanks for modding, buddy. Feel better. Bye all.